Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me in this special live video where we have a lot of amazing and exciting announcements. I am so happy for all of you who are able to join us tonight. We are going to be discussing our new ambassador program, volunteer program, lots of things to get excited about. And also I want to be the first to give everyone joining right now a special sneak peek of something that is going to happen this Sunday. We have recently been named an architect of change. I'm not going to say by who, details to follow, which means that the message of our film, Erasing Family, will go out to a subscribing list of 100,000 people this Sunday. We'll be releasing Who Named Us an Architect of Change later this week, and we'll be sharing all of this with you. Hello, Kelly Michaels. Hello, Rick. Hello, Amanda. Nice to see you all. So, hello, Kim. So, some very interesting developments have been happening this week. Dennis E. Beasley says, how? How what, Dennis? How? Just so I have some information. So, we've had some very interesting developments this week. We are on track for the film to premiere in 2019. We are nearing the end of our editing process. We were at the Simply Parent Conference in Fort Collins, Colorado on June 30th, and we met a lot of erased parents who are doing the best they can to reunite with their children and to also start a global advocacy movement. But one thing that we're finding is that for a lot of parents out there, the question is, how can they effectively communicate this message to the people who they want to impact? So that are the people who work in family court, like judges and lawyers, mediators, psychologists, teachers who work in schools, politicians who change laws, but most importantly, young people. So we are going to start an ambassador program, and you can already sign up right now to become an ambassador. Now, becoming an ambassador doesn't happen overnight. You will get a lot of training, and basically what we're going to be doing is giving you all the tools you need. So the verbal skills, brochures to print out, letters and emails to approach venues in your community to ask them to show the film Erasing Family when it premieres in 2019. So I would love to ask the people who are online right now, what are some appropriate venues in your community that you would like to show the film and have a discussion later? The discussion can be with people who work in family court, it can be with advocates, it can be with erased families, reunited families. You can also bring in guest speakers from the film. So hi Leslie, hi Lily. What are some venues in your community? Be as specific as possible that you would love to have show the film. Type them into the comment section right now. Think about, who do you think will need to see this film that talks about the harm done to children when a loving and fit parent is erased from their lives after divorce or separation? Any ideas? Rick, do you have an idea? Rick Tobin, you always have ideas. Leslie, what would be a great venue in the Bay Area? So Rick Tobin just said the film should be shown at schools first and foremost. Mark Haggis said, how about churches? Those are great ideas. Kim said school doctor's offices. Can anyone give, now let's start with schools. So one thing about the schools, and it could even be a school that your children go to, right, who you're trying to reach, is if you go that route, not to, hold on one second. I'm just getting a lot of messages. I just want to see who's messaging me, because maybe they can't get on the chat or something. So, hold on. So there's a few people who are just asking where they can see the video. So I will. Does anybody know how to share a live video? Because some people are asking it. So Lily Schreier said, my kids. So a lot of people ask me, well, how do I reach out to my own children, right? And if you can access their schools, and we've talked about this in past videos, wouldn't it be great, especially if they're high school age or above, because let's face it, it's a documentary, it's not for 6-year-old kids. You can show them, push the share button at the bottom. So because I'm live recording, I can't share it. So that's why I can't share the video. Okay, so we have hospitals, nurses, lawyers. Let's get a little more specific. So with schools, if it's a younger school, like an elementary or middle school, you don't want to be showing the film to the kids. It's an hour-and-a-half long documentary. They'd probably get bored with it. So what about the PTA, the Parents Teachers Associations, right? So you can approach the parent-teacher associations and ask if you can have a screening of the film for parents and teachers after school hours. So that would be an example of people who can show the film, right? And now let's talk about universities. The best are always to think of, are there universities in your area that you already have a connection with? And the best would be to find a professor who's like-minded to come on board and offer to co-sponsor the film. So when you go to the administration, it's also coming from someone within the school community as well. Another option you'll see is that often schools, universities, and other community centers will say you can show the film, but you have to pay to rent a space. In that case, you can make the decision if it's worth it, and then charge a ticket price to recoup that investment if it's something that you can donate on your own. So hold on one second. Hold on one second. Is anyone, hold on one second, let me see if I can, I'm just getting someone who's asking me to share the video. So sorry about this, hold on. Yeah, let's see, hold on. If I can share this, the live video, hold on one second. Let me just, hold on. There we go, now I think we have it. Okay, so now we have the address, there we go. So now you should be able to see it, all the people who just asked me how they can see the video. Great, so hopefully this will work, wonderful. And I'm also gonna share, so if everybody can share the video right now, just take a second on your own timeline. That would be great, so the more people can see it. Okay, awesome. So now that we've dealt with that, let's continue our chat. So what's going to happen if you sign up to be in? So we already have schools on the list. We have high schools. For elementary and middle schools, we want to target the parents and the teachers. For universities, we especially want to align ourselves with schools of social work, law schools, psychology schools, but also it's something that should be open to the entire community, because a lot of kids, the first time they're outside the grip of the alienating parent is when they go to college. So this is a perfect way to reach them. But where are some other places? People have mentioned police stations, and now at first this might seem like a very weird place to screen a film, but a lot of police departments do community outreach, and as you all know, when you call the police to ask them to enforce a child custody order, they often don't want to do that. So this is a great way to begin to open up that discussion, how the police can respond differently, not jumping in play psychologists, but just simply enforcing orders can be, and this could be a great way to get the ball rolling. Carrie Weiss just said professional organizations, and that is great. That's a great idea. So we have local bar associations, we have local attorneys, we have local medical associations. So what you need to start to do is to start to think, Who can you reach out to? And always reach out to first where you have that connection. So if you are interested in becoming an ambassador, what is the first step? The first step is to go to erasingfamily.org, click on the Get Involved page, click on the Become an Ambassador page, and just sign up. We launched this today, and already we've had 15 people sign up to be an ambassador in about 3 hours. Our goal is to get 300 ambassadors to sign up by September 1st. That's less than 5% of the people who like us on Facebook. So if you haven't already, Dizzy Learner just said group homes, that's also a great idea. I'm thinking like especially domestic violence shelters, this might be a great idea because so many victims of domestic violence also cannot see their children. So this is a great way to bridge what sometimes can be a gap between domestic violence advocates and parental alienation advocates by showing that we all want to see our children. And I was at a conference on last week, Simply Parent, and a domestic violence advocate who can't see her kids said, punch me, kick me, but the worst thing you can do is take my kids away from me. So let's go on to the first step, which is, I'm typing in right now. You go to erasingfamily.org. You click on, in the menu, it says Get Involved. I'm going to post this right here. And then click on Become an Ambassador. So I'm going to post it. So Kelly Michael says, can you say where to go again to sign up? I'm going to type it right. So you go to erasingfamily.org, you click on Get Involved, and then click on Become an Ambassador. So I just posted the link right there. So everyone take a second and click on it. If you want, you can fill out the form now or later, but it's a very simple form that just asks for your name, your geographical location, if you have any ideas for screenings. Now, once you sign up, within the next week or so, you'll be getting an email with the next instructions. Don't worry, this is all going to be super simple and super automated, so it's going to be very easy to follow. So the first thing that's going to happen is you will get a link to an hour-long video that you can watch whenever you want that will explain how we are messaging our film, why we use the terminology erase instead of parental alienation, and talking about positive examples that we've already had of parents who have been trained to be advocates at the AFCC conference. That's the Association for Family and Conciliatory Courts. And they had a big conference in Washington, D.C. We got 110 judges, lawyers, mediators to sign up to show the film. And it's a film that's critical about family courts. That's because we had a positive, inclusive message. And also with the film, we always say, if you don't agree with it, that's okay. Show it, invite people from the community in, and have a debate and a discussion afterwards. We're not asking for people to agree with everything in the film, and the film also presents people with different viewpoints. So not everybody in the film even agrees with each other. We're trying to make it as inclusive as possible. We hear from lawyers, we hear from judges, we hear from psychologists, but most importantly, we hear from the children themselves about how traumatic it was to have a loving family member erased. So you will get this link to a video. You can watch it whenever you want. Then we'll ask everybody who wants to become an ambassador to sign a code of conduct. The code of conduct is very simple. It's going to ask you on Facebook to, even in your personal account, to never, ever, ever post anything about your ex unless it's something positive. If you can't say something nice, don't say something at all. If someone disagrees with you or doesn't want to show the film, to be very polite and to always keep the door open. To remember that you need to act in a professional and polite manner when you're representing the film. Treating this as a job. It's not a job that you're getting paid for, but it needs to be the same commitment. If you say, I'm going to reach out to 3 schools in my area, please do so. If you can't, let us know so we can find someone else. Then, once you sign the code of conduct, you'll be invited to attend a webinar. You'll be given lots of selections of time slots. This will be a live webinar with myself and with other potential ambassadors where we'll go step by step how to use the materials, the email template, the brochure, which by the way, you can download the brochure in printable format from our website, and how to approach these venues, how to set up a personal meeting. And now while the film won't be ready until 2019. The idea is to have a list of places that want to show the film, so as soon as the film is ready, we can hit the ground running and just schedule the screenings. And if people want to fly in a speaker like myself or one of the children in the film, they can do that if they can pay for it. If not, we can appear by Skype. But the best is to have local speakers in the area and to invite local press in. A lot of people are talking about how can we get the press to cover this story. Well, a screening of a film in a packed house with local speakers is an event that lots of local press will cover. Then you will help coordinate the screening, you'll help the venue if they want, invite people in to make it as rich as possible. And then at the screening, if they let you, be there at the table with our brochures and also information for people who need help. Because what's very exciting is we are fundraising right now, not only to finish the film, but we also want to create a helpline that kids can call who are experiencing this and get help. Because right now there is no help for kids going through this. And by kids, I also mean adult children going through this. So it's going to be a place just to give them resources, to be an ear to listen to. They'll be able to text if they don't want to call, because we all know young people don't like to use the phone, they like to text. And then this last thing, you just take a picture of the event and you let us know how many people saw the film at the event. And every ambassador who can set up at least one screening of 25 people will get a certificate thanking them for their work. And the ambassador who at the end of 2019 has had the most people, 10 screenings that they set up, will get a special recognition and a special prize. So we want to encourage a little friendly competition. It's not about winning, because the point is for kids, but we want to encourage people to get as many screenings as possible and as many different distinct venues as possible. So now that I've outlined a little about this new program, I want to answer questions. The first is Rolando Ortega. Is this initiative only for the USA? No, it's not only for the United States. We want this film to be shown worldwide. It will have subtitles in various languages, Spanish, French, and we're hoping for others like Icelandic, German. I think German will definitely get, maybe Hebrew for the Israeli audience. So you can do this anywhere in the world. Any other questions? John Lindbergh, I can show it at my college. John, what is your college? And are you a professor or a student there? We're just curious. Hi, Ed Pizarro. Hi, Patrick Powers. We haven't talked in years. Thanks for joining. This is so exciting to see you. So Kelly Michaels said where, so Kelly Michaels, you're asking me again where we can sign up. Let me know if you saw the link, because I can't respond directly to you. But community libraries might be a great option as well. Yes, community libraries. Now remember, there are two types of places where you can just set up a screening. Some are venues that have movie nights already and kind of have a built-in audience. So I was talking to a judges association and they say once a month they show a movie. Well, one month they should make it Erasing Family. And they already have an invite list, the people are already coming, they know what to expect. The other is to find an empty space and you have to bring in the people. I think it's always best to find a place that can have people brought in, so that way you're not stuck finding 50, 60 people to fill an auditorium. That is an option. Just remember, when you want to have people come, it is a lot of work to do the invites. Ed Pizarro said, hi, Jen, you're a professor of anthropology geography in Davenport, Iowa. Yes, John. So please sign up to be an ambassador. I'm going to just share the link again. Hi, Steph Guppy. It's so good to see you. Steph Guppy was one of my childhood friends. Well, she is one of my childhood friends' moms, so it's so great to see you, Steph. So I just shared the link again, and yes, John, we would love you to show it. And what's interesting is we actually interviewed a professor of anthropology in the film who gives her take on this issue and how to make divorce healthier for kids. So are there any other questions? Again, this video itself isn't the training, it's just to tell you what to expect. And this is a great idea because a lot of people said, well, what can I do that's practical? And having a screening of the film, setting up a screening, if each person can set up a screening that has 25 to 50 people who discuss the film afterwards, think about the seed of change you are planting in your community. But it's even better. So John Limburg said, I can cheat and give my students extra credit for attending. Yes, so that's a great idea. So if you have, the one thing is to go to university and say, hey, we want to rent a room and host a screening. You pass out flyers, send out emails. But if you could work with the professors to encourage their students to go, to have the professors there, and then to tell students what the resources are in their campus for mental health services. Is there a divorce and separated adult kids survivors group that or maybe they can start one? That is what makes this a rich catalyst for change. Because it's one thing to see the film, and that's great because it often will help people recognize what went on in their own lives and to see why this is important. But if people can get together and talk and to say, let's start something in our community, that's so much more powerful. So Mark Haggis, how about the actual movie theaters? So Mark, that is a great idea. And we will be working on that from the distribution end. What we need you to do is to work on the community spaces where we can have discussion later. Because most people won't see a documentary in a movie theater. They're not going to pay $20 to see it. That's just the way life is now. Why? When you can see it on Netflix, HBO, YouTube, etc. What we want is we want the people to be able to discuss the film afterwards, to know what the resources are if they're going through this. And this is a way, so let's say if you have a local divorce and separated support group or a local advocacy group in your community, if you host the screening, you can give out information about your group at the screening. You can use the film as a fundraiser for your group. You can combine this with other groups. So it's good to think about all the possibilities. We've just scratched the surface. And I'm just very excited that we've had 15 signups in a few hours. Hi, Steph. Hi, Shane. Nice to see you there. So, again, the first step is to sign up. Then we'll be sending you all this great information. For those of you who missed the beginning of this, Dizzy Lerner said, I want to start a revolution. We need this film. We need this to be a topic of discussion. Yes, I agree with you, Dizzy. And we already have another mom who wants to set up a screening in Shasta County Community College. So we're very excited about that. Mark Haggis says, getting at the free tickets in the Ave of Critics so people don't know what it's about. I don't know what Ave of Critics is about. Kelly Michaels, when is the screening going to be available for us to start showing? 2019, but we need to set up the screenings now. Because if we wait until the movie's ready to be seen, sometimes you have to book these venues months in advance. Sometimes you need to form relationships. So start now. Start by signing up to be an ambassador. Start by attending the training so you will have the skills you need to get more people to show this film and to become an ambassador of the movement and start change. Rick Tobin, can I screen the film online via Facebook? I directly and indirectly run social media groups with thousands of members. Right now, what we are looking for is a deal with a platform like Netflix, so you wouldn't be able to screen it with Facebook as of right now. Dennis Beasley, distribution is civic organizations, Kiwanis, Rotary, Lions, Optimists, yes. Yes. Kiwanis clubs, Rotary clubs, union halls, houses of worship. The best is to find groups that have an audience. So if the Rotary Club has a meeting the third Thursday of every month, that's when you want to show the film because you don't have to get people to come. Make it easy on yourself. Find where those built-in audiences are. You can also do viewing parties in your apartment or house, but try to find places where there's already people. So that's kind of the idea. And that's why we want to offer you the training, because once you know how to, because one of the big takeaways we had from the AFCC conference and the success we had there, so many signups, is that a lot of parents and advocates are used to people doubting them, responding poorly to them. But with the right training and the right attitude, we got even people who are maybe are very critical of the film. I had one person come up and say, I know you and I hate your film. Then she saw the trailer, looked at the brochure, and said, oh, it's completely different than what I thought. I want to host a screening. I want you to come talk. I was like, great. Well, I'll try my best in Salamanca, Spain. Rolando, also you can show Erasing Dad, Borrando Papa, which is in Spanish and available for free on YouTube, and it's on our website. So that's also something that you can show right now, and that's been released since 2014. I'm just going to check a message that I have. Great, so people are being able to watch the film. Christina Kimball, how do I share my story with you with all documents to benefit your outreach? So Christina, if you haven't already, go to erasingfamily.org and click on share your story, and there's a survey where you can give information, and you can also do a video tribute to your kids. Please don't send us documents, and this is something I've talked to in other videos. We get sometimes up to 5 or 10 people contacting us a day. We don't have the capacity to review documents. Please look at our other videos where we explain how to share your story compellingly and succinctly. You need to be able to do it in 30 seconds or less. And we, in our other videos, which you can go to erasingfamily.org, look at them on the resources page, look at them on the Facebook page, you can learn how to do that. So take advantage of the survey, take advantage of the video tributes on Erasing Family, and if you're gonna do it, please do it now, because we're finishing the film and we need videos to share in the film. Any other questions about the ambassador program? I hope we get a lot more signups after this video. Again, this is not the training, this is just to tell you what it's about, to get you excited about it. And why we're doing a film is that, as you all know, because you're living this is a hard subject to talk about, right? You can feel a lot of shame, you can feel like people blame you. It's often hard to understand. So imagine if you get to invite people to a fun and glamorous film screening. You're not asking people to read a book, you're not asking people to attend a lecture, you're asking people to grab some popcorn and watch a movie that will touch their hearts. And it's the seed of change, because when people have their hearts open, then how to change, how to reform, it's just logistics, it's just details. The most important thing is getting people to realize this change needs to happen. We need to touch people here before we get them here. So on that note, thank you for joining me. I hope that you sign up. So Christina Kimball, I understand. Please use the platform, and please understand, don't tell people Google, look it up. We all have cases that are very important to us. But this isn't about one person's story, it's about everybody's story, and it's about focusing on the children. So Patrick Powers, hey now, nothing wrong with books. I agree, I'm a big reader, but yeah, movies are faster to ingest. I'm talking basically also because a lot of the books on this subject are very academic and dry. And that's great, because if you're an academic, if you're a professional or a parent going through this, you need a lot of detailed information. But for most people, they need this in a simple, digestible form. And movies can create change. If you haven't, look at the movies Bully and Blackfish. They both created huge change. And our last film, Erasing Dad, also created a big change. Documentaries can change. And I've said this story before. I changed my life because of a documentary film I saw when I was 18 years old in college. I became an advocate for people working in sweatshops because I saw a documentary called Mickey Mouse Goes to Haiti, where they interviewed sweatshop workers in Haiti who were making 8 cents an hour making clothes for Disney. I was so horrified by this that literally I changed my life and became a sweatshop worker advocate. I became a union organizer. I became the activist I am today because I saw a documentary at 18 years old. I was already always interested in politics, but I wanted to become a senator, and I decided instead to become an activist. So, so I'm so glad that all of you were able to join. Remember, sign up. Go through the training. It will give you the tools to talk about this issue in a positive message. And the best, because you're showing a film, you don't have to share your personal story. And one thing that parents have told me is that by not leading with their own story, people respond so much differently and so much more positively. So it's not about saying what happened to me, it's about saying what's happening to all of our children. Even if you don't have kids, this is something that concerns you. So Sargam Sound said, when coming out, where can we access it? So Sargam, please visit erasingfamily.org where you can get all the updated information, join our mailing list. Casey, thank you for signing up. And Sargam, to answer your question, it's coming out in 2019. So we are asking people to sign up to become ambassadors, so when the film comes out, we'll already have tons of wonderful screenings in universities, high schools, houses of worship, Rotary clubs, Kiwanis centers, police stations, family courts, local bar centers, and with politicians, all ready to go. So thank you so much for joining me. Please share this video. If someone says, what can I do to help? Say, be an ambassador for Erasing Family. It's not going to be a ton of work, but there are a ton of rewards. It's a great way to start talking to the press. It's a great way to create change. So thank you so much. Please join up. I'm going to put the link in there one last time. Sign up to become an ambassador. And if you haven't already, share this video on your timeline. Share this video with your friends. Share this video on groups that are about this. And thank you so much for joining this. And remember, if you join this video late, you can always watch it on our Facebook page under videos and in our resources page. It's usually available the next day on erasingfamily.org. If you want to tell your story, erasingfamily.org, click on share your story. And if you're like, how can I help a little more? Make a tax-deductible donation so we can start this helpline at erasingfamily.org. So for all of your Erasing Family names, and also to sign up for our mailing list so you never miss another update, erasingfamily.org. So simple. It's even on my shirt. So thanks so much. And remember, you might feel hopeless now, but together we can start creating hope. Together we can start reuniting erased families. Together we can make sure this is the last generation of kids who go through this. And soon it'll be something like, what I want is for our grandkids, when we talk to them about this, to be like, what? That was happening? That sounds crazy. That can happen. Change happens. Think about all the change we've seen in our lifetime. So lots of hope, lots of love. But we get to the hope by being practical, by working together, and for each person to take on one little piece of this. If you can get 100 people in your community to watch the film and talk about it, especially if you're in a town of 40,000 people, imagine what those people can do afterwards. It's not about getting everybody on board. It's about getting a big enough percentage of the population on board to push for change. That's all we need. We don't need to reach everybody. We need to reach people who can make a difference. So thank you. Thank you to all of you. Hope to see you sign up. Bye.